Holmes ends up with 333 yards. The stadium's address is 3333 Al Davis Way. And they win it by 3.
This is a call for vengeance. Welcome to today's show. 33. The Freemasonic Code. You heard it in that first clip, and there's more to it than just that. Patrick Mahomes, he said, threw for 333 yards at 3333 Al Davis Way, which is the address of the stadium. He threw a 3-yard touchdown pass to win the game from the 3-yard line with 3 seconds left on the clock. This is also the third MVP for Patrick Mahomes, and this is the third Super Bowl title in 5 seasons for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, if you don't know that sports are rigged yet, wake up. Sports is another one of those things that, again, people think is natural and organic. And of course, at one point in time, it may have been. But sports now more than ever are specifically controlled. And it's not just to play with the emotions of people. It's also to make people go bankrupt. As you may have noticed, they have normalized gambling, which used to be a thing that you had to do in taboo. You'd have to go through a bookie or something like that in order to place a bet. They follow the flow of who's betting on what. And again, part of the Great Reset is to make people go broke. And you may have noticed, but there is a commercial every 3 seconds to promote gambling. There is a celebrity and an athlete every 2 seconds on television telling you about gambling. And again, this is part of their control plan. 33 is the Freemasonic Code. 33 in Freemasonry is the highest level in Freemasonry you can attain. We see it all over the place. And you may remember that the Illuminati controls professional sports. We have seen in the Illuminati card game, they even have a professional sports card in the game. They even conveniently show a bag of cash flying through the air. And conveniently as well, Joe Biden, the president of the United States, tweeted out after the game, just like we drew it up. It couldn't be more in our faces. Now, for those of you that don't know, 33 is usually the code used in Freemason Masonic hoaxes. We've seen 33 with Hillary Clinton's 33,000 emails. Trump just lost a fake lawsuit for $83.3 million. 33 always appears. It is a hoax code. In a lot of the false flag fake events that the government stages, you will see 33. Now, there's many narratives going around with this, and it's important to note the numerology narrative of all of this, because this all goes back to Skull and Bones. If you actually look up who the founding father of football in the United States of America is, it's Walter Camp, right? They even tell you in his Wikipedia, the father of American football. And I have covered this in the past, but I'll cover it again very quickly for those of you who are new to all this stuff. He's the founding father of American football, and football was pretty much founded at Yale, and this man is a member of Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones is the secret society, one of the Ivy League, the biggest secret societies out there. There's Lock and Key. There's a lot of secret societies that I've covered over the years, so if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you can become aware of what's really actually going on. Okay, so he's a member of Skull and Bones. We know Skull and Bones with John Kerry, George Bush. They've actually glorified, made that like a big deal out in the open. But there's a lot of your politicians like Ron DeSantis, etc. These guys go through Ivy League schools like Yale where they are trained. They are trained in Jesuit universities and Ivy League universities. And they're all members of these secret societies. And right now, you're seeing the effect of these secret societies on our day-to-day life because they are destroying our lives. And their motto in these secret societies is order out of chaos. So this is filled with the 33 hoax code because it is rigged. And eventually, I'm sure they're going to reveal this to people that the rigs are in, that the referees are in on these games. And people out there will start to say, well, we probably need to stop that and make the game advance more towards technology because, again, they want to remove the human element from everything. So in addition to those things, in addition to the 33 codes all over the place, I mean, again, did you hear that in the beginning? 333 yards at 3333 Al Davis Way. The game-winning throw is from the 3-yard line It was a 3-yard touchdown pass with 3 seconds left. It's the third MVP for Magic Patrick Mahomes and the third Super Bowl in 5 years for the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, the other narrative that you see with this, of course, is what I've covered for months with the social engineering and Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. So the common person out there is going to think the rig is in, but they're going to talk more about voting. They're going to say, well, Taylor Swift is going to endorse Biden. They won the Super Bowl. They've been putting her on this stage. But really, the story is more related to, that famous commercial now that we've all seen over and over again of Travis Kelce rolling up his sleeve. And of course, this is nothing more than a CIA social engineering op. That's what it is. These are all government agents who are doing the bidding of the globalists, of the global elites, if you want to call them that. Now, there's other times that we've seen 33 numerology with the Super Bowl. We saw the Super Bowl 47 where they had the power outage. I covered that years ago. And the time of the stoppage was 33:55. Right? Remember they had the blackout during the game. If you haven't noticed, the NFL moved their extra point. Their extra point is now kicked from the 33-yard line. These are all things that people wouldn't notice. And if they did notice it, they would make up excuses so that they could avoid these realities because they don't want to believe that they're living in a simulated reality. And that's what I'm trying to do on this channel is wake you up to that. It's controlled. It's a simulation. These things are not naturally occurring. This goes with all of the things in our day-to-day life. They manipulate us. They are using mind control methods on all of us. We all feel like we're free, but we're not. They're controlling independent thought. They're making you feel a certain way on a day in and day out basis so they could herd you and move you the way they want to. If we all broke free from technology, we would break free from their stranglehold. And it's almost like at this point, they're just gaslighting the public out there because Joe Biden's even tweeting out just like we drew it up. I mean, can you make it up? Right? And I've covered other guys in the past. I've covered even Colin Kaepernick in the NFL. Everybody thinks of Colin Kaepernick with the kneeling stuff. And they're like, oh man, Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. It's so anti, what do people talk? It's anti-United States of America. But nobody talks about how Colin Kaepernick, the police were called on Colin Kaepernick right before he actually became famous. Because why? Well, because a woman was in distress because she was in Colin Kaepernick's apartment or his hotel room, and Colin Kaepernick was doing a satanic ritual right in the room, and she called the police, and they just dismissed it, of course, as her being high. But we see the tie-ins, all of the tie-ins, constantly with the New World Order, with satanic cults, with satanic secret societies. That's what Skull and Bones is. It's a satanic secret society. Now, I covered the halftime show, if you didn't see the video, where we saw all the same Freemasonic garbage in that. We saw all of it. We saw Usher with the black and white symbolism. We saw the Whore of Babylon. And we also saw throughout the commercials, which I'll cover in a separate video, some of the same stuff, right? We've seen the alien UFO deception. These are what I talk about when I say a simulated reality. These are all things that they constantly show you over and over again. Nobody questions why they keep showing us this alien invasion. Like, oh, it's artistic. Oh, they're being creative. They're programming you. Television is programming. Sports is programming, right? There's an old commercial I always used to put in. The home is the factory. The product being manufactured at the factory is you.
Your living room is the factory. The product being manufactured is you.
Okay? And sports are used for that specific reason. We've always looked at what? Things like the Roman Colosseum. It's a circus. It's a charade. These are the types of things that they do so that human beings take their emotions out on sports, right? There's something natural about humans that we have, a natural element for competition, for, getting our aggression out. They want you to always take your aggression out on these pointless controlled circuses that they put on because they're afraid that if people actually realize what's going on, they'll take their aggressions out on them, the controllers, right? We think about movies like 1984, where they specifically have, days of hate where they all yell and rage to get it out of their system. You've heard expressions like that. Get it out of your system, man. Like vent. That's what sports are there for. That's part of the charade they've put out there because they know human beings will invest all of their emotions into a sports team and put all that anger and all that stuff. They'll just gear it towards sports. You hear how excited and into sports people are and how they get brainwashed into sports thinking that it's real. And then they put all their emotions into their team. Meanwhile, our reality around us is crashing. These people are manipulating our day-to-day life. They are destroying freedom, which what we once thought was freedom, which is no longer freedom, which is the illusion of freedom. While we're all looking at this dog and pony act, this charade, and they code these things, they rig these things, right? In codes like 33, and then they tell us, well, everybody out there suddenly should be gambling. At the same time, they tell us we need to reset everything. At the same time, they tell us that we all need equity and inclusion, where they're really telling you that nobody should have more money than one another, except, of course, for these global elites. Is Jeff Bezos going to be living on equity and universal basic income? Of course he's not. They want you to live like that because they want to enslave you. And that's one of the reasons sports gambling has been normalized. They know it's an easy way to lure people in to go to work, the little money they make, put it back into sports because they think they can become rich. They see how much money is on one team versus the other team, and they swing it. They rig it, right? Oh, 49ers are favored. Money's on the 49ers. Well, Chiefs win, right? So I had to do a video just covering your 33 code because it's right in front of our faces. And the masses out there don't see it, but people like us do. Remember, Walter Camp and the NFL, just like Major League Baseball, these are all sports. These are started in secret societies. And it started it's the modern day Roman Colosseum. They're modern day gladiators. And people look to their gladiators to do these events, and they get all supported behind their gladiators. And this takes a component out of our day-to-day lives. A component of, what human beings should really be doing right now is focusing on what these people, these madmen, are doing to our lives. The laws they're pushing on us, the fake stories they're putting out there, how they're gaslighting people into a civil war. But they don't. They put their emotions into sports. They put their emotions into all of these distractions. And that is done by design. That is why you even see, an Illuminati card for professional sports, the modern Colosseum, the modern day gladiators, because they know how important it is to keep people's emotions at bay and to take those emotions out on rigged fake sports. It's pretty incredible how it works. But show people this, share it with them. What more connections you need? Walter Camp, the father of the NFL, father of American football, Skull and Bones member, right? And the 33 code is just always surrounding the NFL. Travis Kelce, who just got, is the poster boy now for the Magic Potion. Of course, his place out there at Taylor Swift has nothing to do with your vote, right? That's the thing that they'll talk about. They'll say, oh, the NFL's rigged. Watch the mainstream media talk about this topic and talk about Biden's tweet and talk about voting, right? Oh, who are they going to vote for? Your vote doesn't count. Your vote means nothing. The rig is in. It is rigged. It is, as Biden said, just like we drew it up. Just not the way you think. They give you little tastes of truth, and then they lead you into this fake psyop of thinking that your vote counts and that we have some type of power here. Now, we could take power back from these people if civilians actually rose and there was a revolution, but that would take civilians getting together without them stopping it. And the only way they'll allow a revolution is if it's a controlled revolution, which means they want you to invest your emotions in controlled political heroes, right? They want you to put your emotions or your eggs in the baskets of people like DeSantis, Trump, and some of these other celebrities who step up and pretend to be against this tyrannical government. And they're doing it on both sides. It's all staged and rigged. This is a psychological war. That's what this is. It's a war on your mind. Never forget that. I thank everybody for being here. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. I hope you're all doing well. God bless you as always and your families.